Hi, this is Susan Campfield with SueStampfield.com. I'm here to show you a fun technique today done with sponging, and you get this really cool effect. It almost looks like it's glowing. So let me show you how to do that. We're going to start with a piece of very vanilla cardstock, and I'm going to do some stamping first. So I'm going to use a background stamp. This one's called Francais, and I'm going to ink it up with my Cherry Cobbler ink pad. There we go. So I've got my background, and now I'm going to go with the Magnificent Maple leaf stamp. This is a single stamp from the holiday catalog, and I'm just going to ink that up in Cherry Cobbler. And basically I'm going to put a leaf in each corner, tilt them around and angle them. I love the detail on this stamp. It just stamps really nice. You get all those veins, and it's just a really nicely detailed stamp. As you can see from mine, it's gotten a lot of love because I've really enjoyed using this fall. It makes for a great, quick and easy card. And it's nice that it's a single stamp and you don't have to invest in a whole stamp set. Okay, so I've got my leaves coming in from the sides there. So now I'm ready to do my sponging. So the sponge I'm using today, I'm using the Stampin' Sponge. These come in a pack of 3. This is what a single one looks like when you get it, and then I take my scissors and I cut it into 4ths, and I keep one for every color. So I just take a Sharpie marker and I write the name of the ink on the end. And for this technique I want to start with light and then go darker. So I'm going to start with the Crushed Curry ink pad and ink up my sponge here. And I'm going to start at the edges and work in. And I'm going to do that with all of the colors. Start on the outside and work in. And as I get the darker colors, I'm not going to go in very far. So this one, I'm going to go in a little farther. In fact, all the way, but I want the center to be a little bit light. So not as much ink in the center. That's where that kind of glowing look comes from. So there, I'm pretty happy with that. I want to move on to another color. So now I'm going to grab the Cajun Craze ink, and here's our Cajun and my Cajun sponge. And as I said, I'm going to start on the outside edges and work my way in, kind of doing a circular motion here. You are going to get inky fingers with this technique, but that's okay, it'll wash off. It just shows you've been having fun with your stamps. So added that in. It almost looks like, it's almost like orangey because the sponging is lighter than the full concentrated ink. And now I'm going to go back to that Cherry Cobbler that I used to stamp my images in. And again, because I'm sponging, it's going to appear lighter than the images. So here's my Cherry Cobbler. And again, outside edges, gradually working in here. Don't want to get too close to the center. And there we go. You can always go back in and add more ink wherever you want it. If you wanted to have a little more of the crushed curry in the center, you could sure do that. Just add it in. And now I'm going to just put my card together. So super quick and easy. I'm going to use a piece of chocolate chip ink, cardstock, and grab my snail adhesive here. I got a little sponge in my snail from when I cut that sponge earlier. So I'm going to stick this on. That chocolate chip just gives it a nice border and sets it off. And then the base of my card is going to be the crumb cake. So I've got a piece of crumb cake here that I cut and scored. Stampin' Up! Is now offering, from now until Christmas, pre-cut and scored cardstock. So if you wanted to do a lot of these, you could get a package that's cut and ready to go with the score. Packet, I think it does 20 cards. So I'm going to add my greeting here. I'm using a stamp set called A Dozen Thoughts. There's A Dozen Thoughts. And on my first sample I showed you, I used this stamp, the Just Because, which I have here as well, but I'm going to use the Hello on this one. I just had a number of new demonstrators join our group, and I want to send each of them a hello card for joining Stampin' Up. So I do want it straight though. So I love this grid paper. It helps me get things lined up just so. So I've got my hello stamp there in the chocolate chip, and now I'm just going to attach my piece in the middle. And you do want to make sure your words are right side up when you stick it on. I found that out the hard way. Looks a lot nicer right side up. There we go. So there we have our card. And here's the other one with the just because greeting. With this sponging technique, each card will come out a little bit different and unique. So give it a try. It's a lot of fun. You can use any colors. Just make sure you've got a light, a medium, and a dark. Have fun, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by.